Hi fam, back with another episode. This one we're talking about loving yourself, which I feel like I've talked about on here recently, but like, it's time to love yourself. It's 22. My new favorite phrase is it's 2026, y'all. It's time to love ourselves. But it's true. It's time to love ourselves. No one else, you cannot expect someone else to love you if you don't love yourself. That's been a huge message that's been coming in recently. And loving yourself is a fucking journey. Man, I did not love myself when I was in my marriage. And I literally just got to make a video about this, like about loosening your grip on life, because I gripped so tightly because I thought, no one will ever love me. For context, I met my husband, now ex-husband, but I met him when I was going through one of the darkest periods of my life. Now I'm very grateful for him. However, I gripped onto that relationship for far too long. It should not have lasted as long as it did, although everything always happens for a reason, and I fully believe in that. But what I will say is that he met me in one of my darkest times in my life. He saw me in one of the darkest times in my life. Verbally processing also as I'm doing this, which is, you might see my eyes go a little crazy because just having a moment. But he was brought into my experience. He truly saw me. He loved me beyond me losing my hair, me being sick as a dog, me not being able to get out of bed. Like, we trauma bonded, okay? I was in a very different place in my life, okay? But I love that version of me. I love her. And I've worked a lot to love that version of me, because it was a really hard time in my life. There's just something about talking with a pen. I'm so Italian when it comes to talking. It's insane. Like if someone was like, talk and not have your hands available, I'd be like, what? Anywho, that's gonna be distracting. Anyways, my whole point is that my ex-husband loved me, and I had convinced myself that no one would ever love me if I left him, even though I had an inkling for years that I needed to leave him. But I was like, but if I leave him, then who's gonna love me? This one right here, that was the whole point. And for so long, I had tried to get other people to love me. I had tried to get men to love me. I would sleep around trying to get them to love me, and just all these things, right? Cheated on my husband. Why? Because I wanted to be loved, and I wasn't getting enough of it at home. So I went to someone who, in theory, gave me the love. But really, it was just mirroring back like, hey, you have to love yourself. You have to love the deepest, darkest pieces of yourself. I get to love those pieces of me, not I have to. I get to love those pieces of me, and how fucking rad is it that I get to love those pieces of me? And how rad is it that the universe is gonna bring me someone who also loves me because I have accepted and loved the deepest, darkest pieces of me. I wasn't always like this. If you would have talked to me 4, 5, 10 years ago, nope, I did not. I tortured my body. And it's funny because I had someone come back up into my field recently who I was really good friends with back, 16 years ago. And we were like best friends. And he came back into my realm recently, and I had a full circle moment of like, holy shit. I'm not that same person that I was when we met. And he knows that. But there's something beautiful about someone watching you go like full circle and being able to see how much you've changed, being able to see that you're not the same person that you were when they met you, but also the gratitude that comes from that experience of like, I got to know you then, and that is really fucking rad. That I got to know you in that experience. We got to experience that together at that point because we both needed it at that point in time. That's really fucking rad. And that person loved that version of me when I didn't even love myself. And now being in this space of like, holy shit, I've done so much work on myself. I love myself. And having someone new coming in, talking to them and all the things, I've realized, you know, there's no self-abandonment in this process anymore. It's like, holy shit, I love myself so much that no matter what happens out here, I'm good. I got me. I love myself. I'm not going to abandon myself for someone else. That's pretty fucking cool. Like when you can get to that space where nothing outside of you shakes you, oof, when you can still love yourself, even if someone rejects you, or if there's a disconnect or separation or something happens, and you can still love yourself and not place all the blame on yourself, if that is the case, right? Either way, it's about loving yourself. I want to go a little bit deeper into this though, because I obviously was not always like this, and it's taken me a long time to get to this space, and I've done a lot of deep inner work. I've gone to the darkest of my shadows in order to get to this space. And one, this is the work that I do one-on-one with clients. So if that interests you, feel free to shoot me a message or an email, or find me on socials at Lynn Shelto on all platforms. But being able to go to the depths, to see the deepest, darkest pieces of yourself is not always easy. And in fact, I know that is a gift that I carry, to be able to go into the dark with someone and hold them, because I've been able to go into the dark and hold myself and be able to come back up to the light after and see that there is light in every situation. It is always darkest before the dawn. That is a true statement. And, oh, I have chills. The one thing that really got me started on my journey, and this I started pretty early on in my healing journey, I would say, this was after my divorce, was I started doing mirror work. And I don't talk about this all that often, but I really have been brought back to my basics and my foundation of what got me here recently. And being able to pass those tools along to other people, because I at first like scoffed at mirror work. I was like, what the fuck? What do you mean I'm gonna have to stare at myself in the mirror? What? Mind you, this was before I started going on TikTok, before I could even be in front of the camera talking. The thought of me being in front of the camera and putting this on the internet, that would have blown that version of myself. That would have blown her fucking mind. And it starts in baby steps. I started just doing mirror work when I was brushing my teeth. Because you know that the hardest thing is to look at yourself in the eyes, in the mirror, and hold contact. Hold contact. Stare directly into your eyes and don't lose contact. It was a struggle at first. In fact, it was like, okay, let me try for like 30 seconds to maybe a minute and see how long I can hold it for. Your eyes are a fucking portal. And so doing mirror work was really pivotal. I know Louise Hay has a whole book on it. I personally have not read it, but I've had it recommended to me by several people, and I love Louise Hay. All of her books are phenomenal, honestly. Especially the Heal Your Body ones, like those were transformational on my journey. But what I will say, start with a little bit. And all you have to do is just stare yourself in the eyes. If you feel like saying it, say I love you to yourself. That's what I started with. I started looking myself in the mirror and I said, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Didn't matter if I had to repeat it 1,200 times. And then occasionally I started adding in affirmations, mantras. I am strong. I am stable. I am safe. I am secure. Reaffirming that to myself, right? And I'm not saying this will cure all your problems, no, but it creates a deeper relationship with yourself so that your body and your nervous system start to feel safer, so that you can go deeper and know that you're not going to get lost in the process of it. But also the fact that you get to love yourself on such a deep level is such a gift and a blessing in this life, and one that is not talked about enough. And I definitely plan on talking about it more, so follow along for more. But mirror work was a huge component in the beginning of my journey. And I know not everyone's like, I don't know. Just humor me. Start with 30 seconds. If you don't even want to put a time limit on it, don't put a time limit on it. Just see how long you can hold it for. Even better. Who knows? Maybe you'll meet 2 minutes and you'll be like, holy shit, I've made eye contact for two minutes with myself starting off. That's fucking huge. There is no right or wrong. The whole intention and purpose is to get to know yourself better, to tell yourself, I love you. To have conversations with yourself in the mirror is so fucking powerful. And it allows you to access deeper parts of you, especially if you don't have someone else to fucking bebop off of, right? As someone who verbally processes, sometimes it is mirror work that really does it in for me. And also know that there's people like myself and plenty of other healers out there that are here and ready to hold space, to go to the depths with you, to be able to come up to the light and to be there for you while you integrate loving those pieces of yourself, no matter what that is. There's a lot of energy behind that one. Oof, double burps. I love that. But really, truly, start doing mirror work. Start sitting with yourself. Ask yourself the hard questions. Why am I like this? Get curious. Become aware. Why am I having this experience? Why is this experience happening for me right now? How did I behave in that situation? Was that like the best, highest version of myself? Was I more reactive? Was I less reactive? Like, get to know yourself, guys. Fuck. Get to know yourself. And maybe this is my sign that I need to start talking about this more, but getting to know yourself is one of the most beautiful gifts. Ugh, it's so fucking good. You have to be open to it though. It doesn't just happen overnight. This took years for me, and I'm not saying it has to be like that for everyone. In fact, I don't think that this next wave of people that are awakening are going to have to go through, well, you know, our 2019, 2020 selves that really started waking up. Like there was a whole slew of us, if you will, that woke up during that time, and we're being called to lead now. Like, I don't believe the next wave will have to go through as much, because we've already been through it, and we can go in and out so much more quickly, and we can help to alchemize and transmute. Not saying I'm doing the work for anybody. That is not the point, but I will be there holding a lantern with you while you find your own light and on your journey back home to loving yourself, because that is, I've said it before and I'll say it again, like that is the coolest, most beautiful fucking journey that we can go on in this life, is the journey back home to self and to love ourselves no matter what. Because then we get to experience the real love, the real thing. And how cool is it that we get to experience it with ourselves, and then the universe just blesses us with someone that mirrors that and matches that with us. That fucking rocks. Rocks my socks off. So, anyways, you're just trying to love yourself today. Go do some mirror work. Have fun. Play around. Get weird. I know the last time I said I love you and I got a little silly in the mirror, there's a waterfall. Because it hit me and I was like, holy shit, where have you been? I've missed you. You get to know deeper parts of yourself. Oh, it's so juicy and so good. So go do some mirror work. Come back and tell me how amazing it was, okay? I love you so much. I'll see you on the next one.